Hello everyone, welcome back to another episode of Small Stages, Big Sounds. I'm joined today by two members of the Origin of Machines who are also performing at the Dragonfly on the 1st of May. So I'd let them introduce themselves to you.
I'm Pixie.
And I'm Hobbit.
Unusual names. I assume they're not your Christian names.
No, I'm called Pixie because I'm small. And
Okay.
when I was younger, I was cute. So
You're still cute.
yeah, I'm all right for my age.
It's a bit of a Rhondda thing because traditionally Welsh surnames didn't exist and they were foisted on by the English, even though I sound English. Nicknames are an integral part of being from the Rhondda, and people are known not by what they were christened, but the names that they've earned or been given. And they're not just stage names for us. These are names that we've actually called each other for the last 30-odd years. I mean, I didn't know Pixie's real Christian name until she turned up on Facebook. I was like,
Yeah, same.
Amanda. So, yeah.
So, Hobbit, have you got big hairy feet?
Yeah.
Is that what it is? Is that why they call you Hobbit? I've never asked.
When I was in college, I was really into role-playing games, and I still am, still play regularly. But yeah, that being a semi-defining feature, down to me halfway down the back with hairy feet.
Origin of Machines. What is your style of music?
Tricky one there.
It is indeed. Right, when the boys first asked me to join, at the time it was just Hobbit and Station. Station said it was a cross between Pixies and might have been Motorhead. It was definitely Pixies and a heavy rock band. Then of course when I joined it changed it a bit because I'm a girl.
Because you had a pixie.
Yes, I am indeed. So then it sounded a bit like Pixies meets Motorhead meets Altered Images for a while, didn't it? We're all over the place.
Yeah, I mean, loosely, it's definitely indie rock.
Right.
I consider it to be riff-based pop, but there's a rock undertone to it. The bass and drums. I'm an old 80s heavy metal drummer who got old and slowed down. So I approach everything from a rock point of view, but Pixie's style is more melodic than typical rock. So it is an interesting combination. Also, a fairly defining feature is we've got no guitarist. So Station, the bassist, plays really effects-laden bass, which comes out sounding like chords. He plays the main melody, something that some sound engineers struggle with. They expect the bass to play the bass and the keyboard to play the melody, but actually it's the bass that plays the melody, and the keyboard backs up the melody with effectively bass lines.
So who plays keyboards?
That'll be Suchi.
The other one who's having the technical issues.
Yeah.
And we don't know what. Do you know why he's called Suchi?
I've heard a couple of different versions of it. It's quite convoluted and involves a mispronunciation of his surname. But you definitely have to ask him for that one.
Fair enough, because we know why Station is called Station, and that's
because he lives by there.
Yeah, Bill and Ted. Because he had long hair, and he did look like the Stations, didn't he?
It's from Bill and Ted. That's where you got it.
Oh, fair enough. That's a film that passed me by.
Really?
Being of a certain, yeah. No, I think I've seen trailers for it, but I've never seen the film.
Silly fan.
Well, there you go. So, have you had a look at the rest of the bill for the weekend? Anybody else you played with before? Sorry, perhaps I'll rephrase that. Anybody else you've been on the same bill as before?
Well, funny enough, Suchi's in another band, and they are playing as well. They're called Red Joker.
And they're on straight up.
There's nowhere else we've played with, is there, Hobbs?
Don't think so. No, I haven't got the set list.
We know.
I think.
Isn't August in Catherine's band now? You played with August, no?
I think you were last but one on the bill for Friday.
Yeah.
In support, yeah. The only reason I ask is because I was talking to the guys from Buried in Bermuda earlier this week, and I don't know. Perhaps they're wearing coffins and shorts. I don't know, but they are a bit Alter Bridgey, so I like Alter Bridge, so that might be good. Yeah. So anyway, so I'll be there on the Friday, maybe not Saturday, but definitely on the Friday. So there's 4 of you in the band: bass, drums, keyboards,
me,
vocals.
Shouty person at the front.
Shouty person at the front. Little shouty person at the front. Well, you'll have plenty of space then, Pixie, because he's got a big area for the shouty person at the front.
That's good, because we're used to playing tiny little stages, aren't we, Hobbs?
Oh, yeah.
Really, really small.
Station is about to join. Give me a second.
Station! It's Station!
Got you at last.
Hey.
Hi, Station.
Hey,
Yeah.
there we go.
Welcome.
Jesus
Welcome
Christ,
to
the
the
bag from my fucking eyes.
Is that from trying to get on this?
Are we allowed to swear?
I'll edit it out after, don't worry. I try not to because it's an age thing, I think.
All right, okay, fair enough.
I think it shows a little bit of lack of etiquette and, you know,
I'm a bass player. I'm a bass
vocabulary. That's
player.
the word I was looking for.
I don't know what etiquette means.
As a bass player, you sound to be very technically adept, from what Hobbit and Pixie been telling me. Or is that BS?
I'll give you the tenner later.
I don't wear them.
I do when you get to my age.
Hey, hey, don't talk about age, mate. I'm the wrong side of 65. There we are. So we've had a quick chat about everybody's role in the band, and it would be interesting for you to expand on your role.
Mine, right?
You are the main guitarist.
Well, bass guitarist. I put it together with Hobbit. Christ, it must be about 15 years ago now, Hob, something like that.
For that, yeah.
Yeah. So I've been in bands all my life. I hadn't been in a band for a couple of years, and I got bored. Wanted to get back in the band, but hey, such a boy. Wanted to get back in a band, and I'd always, apart from one or two, all the bands I'd been in, they were very sort of forceful about the typical bass player's role. You go bum 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 in the background, and that's not me. So I put a band together. I thought, right, I'm not having a guitarist. I'm going to do the main stuff. And like I said, we'll get down the line. We'll get a keyboard player slash samplist. We did have actually a guitar player slash singer for a while. A guy called Berkey, I was at the band with years ago. But just before COVID, that was. Then COVID came. We got back together briefly after COVID, but he lived in Merthyr, we lived in Arondha, and I guess it was just too much the travelling for him back and forth. But it was all amicable and all that. But he just decided he couldn't commit anymore. But so yeah, we sort of muddled on, and then I think Pixie, you came just before such. You didn't you? I think.
Yeah, and I didn't know what to expect. Just turned up on a Tuesday night thinking, what's this about? And yeah, good fun.
So it's about having fun then.
Yeah.
Yes,
Oh,
definitely.
definitely, yeah. I'm sure it's not making any money at it.
Yeah. I've never
Tell
made
me
it.
about it.
I've never made any money out of playing it. Well, that's not true, actually. I was briefly in a covers band, but I should knock that on the head.
Yeah, it's not for you, is it?
Yeah. No,
So we'll let Sachi introduce himself then. We'll let Sachi
well,
introduce himself, if
yeah,
that's all right.
Yeah, it was actually. That's the one to know about me.
Are you the keyboard slash samplist then?
Oh no, keyboard suggests a level of professionalism I'm just not capable of. I push buttons, but I push buttons in the right order and hope the right noises come out. Usually they do, but because Station makes the noises he does, nobody notices if they don't.
It's like, as I've said to other bands that I've spoken to, you've seen them on the night and they say, oh, that was awful. We missed such and such a note and such a note. And I say, well, but the only people that knows are you. So don't beat yourself up over it. That's the reality of it.
You've just summed up
Sounds
Station perfectly, because Station will say he's done something terribly wrong, and none of us know what he's on about, because the song's absolutely perfect, nearly every time.
there you go.
And
So
I always think I'm going to forget my lyrics, but like the boys say, who cares? Who knows?
well,
exactly.
actually, they do the
Make it
lyrics.
up.
We got a big chart with the lyrics on, but anyway, that's another story.
With the chorus. Yeah, with the chorus.
Make it up. I wouldn't know.
Well, you would with the chorus, because like Station said, we've got a big chart with all the chorus lyrics on it, so people can join in.
Oh, you'll have a job getting people to join in at the Dragonfly. I'll tell you that now.
So don't tell us that.
We like a bit of audience participation.
You go for it. You go for it.
They
just,
make
like I said,
nice gifts for us as well, our audience.
We'll bribe them with beer.
As I said, what I'll try and do for you is I'll do a video for you of one of your songs. You just decide which one it is, and give me a chance to start all the cameras off, and we'll take it from there.
Fantastic.
Ooh, I'm thinking.
Okay.
Thank you.
doesn't cost me anything other than time. So, time I've got being retired. Yeah. Well, like I said, I like playing on a computer as well, much to my wife's chagrin.
Man, that's pretty much what I do is play in a computer. Play's a strong word for it, but I play in a computer.
And
Okay, so I'm really looking forward to your stuff a week today, Big Black
Fancy's
Cat.
joining us.
So what I'll do is, as we now know what you are, you're a four-piece band that plays sort of alt rock. Yeah,
that's
Sort of, yeah.
sorry.
sort of.
There's no guitars, so
Without the guitarist.
no guitars, so rock tends to suggest guitars, doesn't it?
Yeah,
The annoying thing is, when me and Hobbit first put this thing together, I had the idea of bass as the lead instrument. A couple of months after, then Royal Blood came out, Stole Out Thunder.
Yeah, if Station could sing, we would have been Royal Blood, yeah.
Yeah, come on, guys, ambition.
We'd been old.
But the Queen's mother.
Yeah.
Thank you very much for your time, and I'm looking forward to seeing you a week tonight. And it's been great talking to you. And as I said, I'll send you this out with some bits and pieces to put on your socials to advertise it, and I'll see you a week tonight.